eggs, 4 tablespoons of melted butter, a 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. We're also going to need a few drops of liquid stevia. This is going to come in handy to mask that eggy flavor that's prevalent in this recipe. A pinch of pink Himalayan salt. We're also going to need a pinch of yeast. And finally, for the star of the show, we're going to need a 1.5 cups of almond flour. I happen to only have almond meal on hand, so it's pretty much the same thing, so that's what I'm going to use for this recipe. So now we're going to separate our eggs and then melt the 4 tablespoons of butter. We're going to get started cracking our eggs, so we're just going to put our egg whites in here, our yolks over here, and then we'll just leave the shells in this one. Let's get started. Now what we don't want to do is overbeat our egg mixture, because if our egg whites break, then it's not going to be nice and fluffy like we want it to be. So now we're going to test to see if we can get soft peaks. And if the peak kind of falls over like that, I mean, it's stiffer than I would have liked, but this is still usable. So now we're going to move on to combining the egg yolks and the rest of the ingredients. So we took our bread out of the oven maybe 30 minutes ago, so it's like completely cooled off. It looks pretty good. We got a good rise. One thing that I'm now remembering is that we completely forgot to add in the yeast. But the good thing about the yeast is that we only added it in for flavor, not for rising. And as you can see, we have a good rise going. So now we're gonna take it out of the pan and see what it looks like. Okay, so our bread has cooled off pretty much completely. So we're gonna peel the rest of the wax paper from the bread. It looks pretty good. Now we have to keep in mind that this is a bread substitute. This is not gonna taste exactly like bread, but it will get the job done for whenever you have a hankering for like a sandwich or anything like that. You can make yourself something and get her done. All right, so here's our bread. Now I think I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit more before I cut it into slices, so that it won't crumble. But so far it looks pretty darn good. Okay, so our bread has fully cooled off, so now we're gonna start cutting it into slices. So I'm just gonna take it off this cooling rack. And I'm gonna use a serrated knife. That way we can get a nice, clean cut. Here goes nothing. Looks pretty good, guys. Looks pretty darn good. And you can always put that in a Ziploc bag, put it in the fridge, or like take half of it, freeze it, and there it is. There you have it, guys. And you see the keto diet does not have to be as restrictive as people make it out to be. You can make delicious sandwiches. Just make sure you make all of your fun ingredients and all of your fun things at home. Thank you guys for watching. And if you guys recreate this recipe, please let me know in the comments below.